Hello everyone, welcome to Marlin Chess Kids. Today I show the game played by Wang and Giri Anish. And the game starts with the pawn to c4, knight f6, knight to c3, e5, then knight to f3, knight to c6, then g3, d5, and now the pawn capture, c takes d5 and knight takes d5, and here you have the first 5 move, and with both having the same equal position. And here the white continue to play a bishop to g2, then bishop to c5, and now the white castling and the black also castling. Then a d3 was played, and here the black play h6 to prevent the bishop attack to go to the g5 square. And after this, the knight just take the knight go for the exchange, and knight takes knight and the queen takes the knight again. And after this, the white develop the bishop to bishop d2, and now the rook to d8 to have control the d file and trying to attack the square on the pawn at d3, and also have the idea to push the pawn forwards. So this is the first 10 move, and we have the position is equal for both sides. And now bishop to c3 was played, and the white want to play knight takes e5. If the knight takes e5, and the knight cannot capture because this is an open attack for the bishop to attack the queen, and here the idea will be winning a pawn for the white. Therefore queen to e6, and now if the knight capture, the knight will be captured back again, and now the remain the position with the equal. So after this, the white play a knight to d2, and here in this position of equal, the black is trying to move the pawn forwards and attack and gaining more of the space, such as a5. And also you can continue to push another pawn forwards and block the bishop, and here the black will be winning a bishop. So a5 was played, then the white played a rook to c1, and now the black have another idea to bring up the rook and attack. And in this game, the black play a rook to a6. It's one of the very interesting move. So rook to a6 was played, and queen to b3, trying to go for the queen exchange. And the black do not want to go for the exchange and keep the queen, it move to queen e7. And after this, bishop capture the knight and go for the exchange. Bishop takes c6, and now the black take with the rook takes c6, and after this the bishop capture the pawn at a5, and here the rook to a6 trying to attack back the queen, and here the bishop back to c3 and trying to attack the pawn, and with the idea of pushing the knight and attack the pawn and win another pawn. So after this, c6 was played so that the queen can protect the pawn and develop the bishop to e3 and attack the queen and capture the pawn at the a2, and also can capture with the rook, and the rook can attack with the rank 2 and have many activity. So after this, a3 was played to prevent the black to gain back the pawn, and now bishop to e6 to attack the queen and the queen back to c2. Then bishop go to h3, and here is a very strong idea to lock the position of the king. And now the rook f to e1, then the bishop goes to a7 to prevent the attack from the pawn, and now the bishop is direct pinning the king and the pawn at f2 cannot move. And here is the first 20 move, even though the white winning a pawn, but the position is still remain almost the equal. And after this, the game continue with the knight to f3, and now the pawn at c5 move to the c5 and trying to push forwards and attack. After this, in this position, the white capture another pawn, and here the white is clearly better. However, the black keep move the rook towards the center to attack, such as rook to e6 and attack the bishop. And now the bishop back to c3, and here the black play b5, and we're trying to push forward the pawn. So the white put b4 to block it, and now the black continue to play c4, keep on pushing forward, and you have many idea of pinning and winning back the pieces. And if you capture with the pawn and c takes d takes c4, then the pawn b will take back the pawn, and after this it will be slightly better for the white. So this is the move that being played, and after this the rook c to d1 to go for the action, and now the rook to e8, and now the rook will able to capture the pawn. So the pawn need to be given back, and if you make a example move such as the king to h1, then the black can capture the pawn and attack the rook, and you'll be winning a piece. And if they make another example such as the pawn to b5, and the queen can just capture the pawn, and now you have the rook to attack the pawn. So after this position, the white play a bishop to d4 and you go for the action. And after this, the black play one of the interesting move, queen to b7 and trying to attack the knight, and also prevent the pawn move forwards to the b5. And after this position, the black do not see any of the tactic that the black the white do not see any tactic that the black going to play in this position, and without thinking that the queen can make a checkmate, and in this position the white capture the bishop and go for the action, and with the idea that the white thinks that the queen will capture back the bishop, and after capture then the queen will capture the pawn, and here we'll be leading by 3 pawn. But in the actual game, after capture the bishop for the action, and this is a tactical blunder. I give a couple of seconds to figure out how the black will continue to play in this position. Well, congratulations for those who found the answer, and for those who like to enjoy the show, here are the beautiful mate that the black play to win the game, and will be made in 4. The beautiful move for this game is that the queen capture the knight and you go to G2 checkmate, and this is one of the sacrifice queen. So in this game, the best move and very beautiful move that the black play is to capture the knight and go for the sacrifice. And after this move, the white resign the game. And if you want to continue the game, if you capture with the pawn, then you have a rook to take the e1 and check the king. So it will be a back rank checkmate, and now there's nothing you can block the check, and if you capture with the rook, then the rook will just capture back and will be checkmate. Back to this position, and if you want to delay the mate, such as you queen to h7 and check the king, then the king will just capture the king, and after this, if you want to capture the queen, and the game will be same, the rook will just capture, and after the rook capture, it will be a checkmate as well. And if you move any move that do not capture the queen, such as queen to e4, and the game will be same, you use the rook to capture, and if you don't want to capture the queen, you just move forward, the queen will just go to e2, and you have a simple checkmate as well. And with this, thank you.